We've all seen the highlight reels of success, the corner office, the seven-figure deals, the effortless confidence. We're taught to chase these external markers, believing they are the destination. But what if I told you those are just symptoms, not the cause? The real work, the foundational work, happens long before the first dollar of that big promotion ever hits your bank account. It happens in the quiet, unseen moments of decision. Because success isn't an accident. It's a mindset, backed by knowledge, delivered through your voice. It's a deliberate architecture of belief and behavior that you build, brick by brick, within yourself. Here's the truth most people skip past, often because it's uncomfortable. You can't out-earn a broken mindset. You can get a lucky break, a temporary windfall, but you can't sustain growth on a foundation of self-doubt and limitation. Before the money changes, the thinking has to change. This is the non-negotiable first step. Scarcity thinking is the default programming for many of us. It's the voice that whispers, "There's not enough to go around. I'm not qualified," or "I have to hoard what I have." It keeps you competing for scraps, celebrating small wins as if they're the final prize, and viewing every other successful person as a rival. It's a prison of perception. But then there's abundance thinking. This isn't about naive optimism, it's a strategic shift in focus. An abundance mindset understands that value isn't a finite pie to be divided, but a force that can be created. It gets you looking for the next opportunity, the next skill to acquire, the next room to walk into, not as a competitor, but as a collaborator. That shift alone changes what you notice, what you pursue, and what you're willing to risk. Suddenly, a setback isn't a failure, it's data. A rejection isn't personal, it's redirection. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if this is the exact experience I need to get to the next level?" This is where true transformation begins, not in your bank account, but in the space between your ears. But mindset without knowledge is just motivation with nowhere to go. It's like having a powerful engine with no steering wheel, no map, and no destination. You can spin your wheels with incredible force, generating a lot of heat and noise, but you won't move forward. You'll burn out, frustrated, wondering why all your hard work isn't translating into tangible progress. This is the critical juncture where ambition meets action, where your drive needs direction. Without that direction, your energy is simply scattered, leaving you feeling stuck despite your best intentions. This is where financial literacy comes in, not as a buzzword, but as a survival skill for the modern world. In an era of digital currencies, complex investment products, and algorithm-driven marketing, navigating your financial life is more complicated than ever. It's no longer enough to just earn money. You must become the chief financial officer of your own life. Financial literacy is the language of money, and if you don't speak it, you'll always be at a disadvantage, relying on others to translate, hoping they have your best interests at heart. So what does it mean to be financially literate? It starts with the fundamentals. Understanding how money moves, the simple but profound concept of cash flow, knowing exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and where it's going. It's about understanding how debt works, recognizing the crucial difference between good debt that builds assets, like a strategic business loan, and bad debt that drains your resources, like high-interest credit card balances. It's about having the confidence to read a contract, whether for a job, a loan, or a lease, and knowing what you're actually agreeing to. This knowledge transforms you from a passive consumer into an active architect of your financial future. That is the difference between working hard and building wealth. The good news is you don't need a finance degree. You don't need to become a Wall Street analyst overnight. What you need is curiosity and the courage to be a beginner. You need to start asking better questions about your money. Instead of just accepting a bank fee, ask why it's there and how you can avoid it. Instead of ignoring your retirement account statement, open it and ask, "Is this working for me?" You must refuse to stay confused on purpose. That means no more shoving unopened bills in a drawer, no more avoiding your banking app, no more telling yourself, "I'm just not a numbers person." That's a narrative of helplessness, and you are not helpless. Once you begin to build this foundation of knowledge, you'll find your confidence grows in every area of your life. But knowledge alone isn't the final piece of the puzzle. Then there's the piece people underestimate the most, how you communicate. Let's talk about the most powerful and often most neglected tool in your arsenal, your presence. Because here's the unvarnished reality. The moment you open your mouth, you tell the room who you are. It's not just about the words you've prepared, it's about the entire package. Your posture, your eye contact, the very cadence of your voice, it all sends a signal. This isn't something that happens over the course of a 30-minute presentation. It happens in the first 30 seconds. Before you've even reached your first key point, a judgment has been formed, an impression has been made, and that initial impression dictates whether people lean in to listen or mentally check out. Think about it. Your clarity signals your intellectual rigor. Your confidence reveals your belief in your own message. Your standards are broadcast in the precision of your language and the structure of your thoughts. When you speak with conviction, you're not just sharing information, you're demonstrating leadership. Conversely, when you hedge your statements with, "I just think," or "this might be a silly idea, but," you are actively diminishing your own authority. You are handing them a reason to doubt you. People are constantly reading these subtle cues, decoding your level of preparedness and self-respect before you even finish your sentence. This is why sharpening how you speak, how you write, and how you carry a conversation isn't an act of vanity. It's a core professional strategy. It's the difference between being in the room and owning the room. It's what gets you taken seriously in the meeting, trusted in the negotiation, and remembered long after you've left. True presence means your ideas don't just get heard. They land with impact. They resonate. This isn't a talent you're born with. It's a skill you build. It's built in the quiet moments, practicing your pitch in the mirror. It's built by reading voraciously to expand your vocabulary. It's built by recording yourself and cringing, then doing it again until you don't. And this leads to a critical final point on presence. It is profoundly shaped by the people you allow around you. So, protect your circle. Success is heavily influenced by proximity. Surround yourself with people who communicate with intention, who challenge you to be more articulate, and who hold you to a higher standard. Your environment is either a catalyst for your growth or an anchor weighing you down. Choose people who lift you up, who give you honest feedback, and who model the kind of excellence you aspire to. Their standards become your baseline. Their ambition fuels yours. In the end, the quality of your communication reflects the quality of your influences. Choose them wisely. If you're surrounded by people who gossip more than they grow, who complain more than they build, that energy becomes your ceiling. Practice being around quality people, the ones who challenge you, who know things you don't, who expect more from you than you sometimes expect from yourself. Your network isn't just your net worth, it's your mirror. Mindset, money, knowledge, voice, circle. Master those four, and successful stops being something you chase. It becomes something you build, brick by brick, sentence by sentence. Which one are you working on this month? See you in the next video. Subscribe, like, and share this.